Recording from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Anderson Comics. Keeping It With the Nerds presents annual number 2. My name is Bryan.
Rene.
Sean.
And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are not familiar what the annuals are, they're usually just a look back at the previous 25-ish issues.
It's a lot of us just jerking each other off. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. No, it doesn't count.
It's a
You're
nice,
not looking
it's
at
a
the
nice
mirror.
little circle
You're
jerk.
not
Nice little wink.
Yeah.
You know.
It
Just
doesn't,
a little wank.
It doesn't count because it's not looking in the mirror.
We all. What are you talking about? I have to look into your eyes.
No,
to
you
do
have to look in the
I have
mirror
to
and go,
play.
oh.
I have
Listen,
to play Metallica too, so
yeah,
it's
The only way I
it's
could
not.
finish is if you look me in the eyes.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could finish.
No, I'm not going to look at you in the eyes.
You guys want to play the bagel game for year 6?
We can.
Yeah.
I'm
The
down.
what?
The bagel game.
What's the bagel game?
That will be on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the same thing as the cracker game?
Yeah.
It's also
Is
the
this
same
a
thing as the
sex thing?
waffle game.
Mhm.
It's also the same thing as the
You don't
waffle
want to lose in any of those things.
No.
Speaking of which, I remember being in high school, and I thought it was one of the funniest things in the world. Now it's a little pervy, but now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
Okay, no,
hindsight's
stop.
2020,
Stop.
bro. It's all right.
Stop. We're 2 minutes in.
So
High
somebody when I was in high school was explaining to me the waffle game on how exactly that works and everything else. And then I remembered a priest grabbing a thing of waffles and then going, "Stop talking and just do it," and then throw the waffles on the thing to make us all stop the conversation. And then the waffles hit, and then everybody went "ah!" and then just kind of dispersed. So it worked, but also the phrasing, like
Yeah.
like the whole situation. You're
Coming
just kind
from
of going,
who?
like, yeah. It's not a great look now. It's a funny story, but
It
With context, no.
Yeah.
Just no.
And of my child intellect, it was funny.
at the time I thought it was hilarious.
As a 30-year-old, there were lines that were crossed.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel violated.
oh yeah.
That
Maybe
came
I
up in
should have
therapy.
reported it, but you know.
That same priest grabbed me from behind when I was walking down a thing, and he was like, kind of grabbed me like that, and I turned around and I went, "You can't touch me. You're not a priest." Oh no.
Oh.
And then he hit me. Anyway, he did hit me
With
upside the
that
head.
said,
Show us on the bear where he touched
keeping
you.
up with the nerds.com to check out our information, check
Point
out our
on the
socials, Instagram, Facebook, and
Right in the
He was in and out.
Instagram, Facebook, and xmen.com. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Keeping Up with the Nerds, and check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean, now on YouTube Music as well. Are you done talking about your pervy
We're
childhood
just
stories?
talking about the
was
common
pervy.
practices of priests, okay?
This is true. This is true.
You're thinking about baptizing, you know.
Yeah,
Are you not
You know?
baptized?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
I'm not
purgatory.
Catholic.
It's the whole.
I'm baptized, but I'm not Catholic.
I've never actually seen a
Tell me
small
how that
child.
worked.
I don't know.
It's gonna be great. You know, they're gonna get the water, and then they're gonna go, "Tell me where the bomb is." It just dunk
What
her.
happened? I thought this was a baptism. It's not.
It's an interrogation.
Welcome to Guantanamo.
No. All 4 of the walls just collapse at the same time. He's in a giant white warehouse.
It's like Rogue Nation all over again.
I thought when I heard the music, I thought we were going to a church. Like,
It is. It's my church.
church of pain.
And in this church, we don't tell lies.
We always speak the truth in this house.
Alrighty. So the annual, as Nick mentioned before, it's not a circle jerk. It's a look back. Looking at everything that we've done since January.
We could have done better, yeah.
This is our quarterly review.
Yeah.
This is
Okay, if it's
Brian?
a quarterly review, go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah.
HR.
Okay.
Give us our
All right,
reviews.
okay.
Listen.
Brian,
Uh-huh.
you need to stop taking so much time off.
That's true. Listen, all I
You've used
know.
up your PTO.
Yeah,
Hold
use up
up.
your T-
I'm the senior member here. I've done my 5 years.
What does that mean?
It means
What does
that I
do
have more
with-
PTO.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, reset it.
If anything, I have more PTO than you.
Yeah.
Why?
He hasn't
We
been
started
speaking.
it together.
I know, but I haven't used up as
Oh,
much
no,
as you
okay, that's
have.
true. Well, we accumulate the same way.
Yeah.
Sean's still on provision, or not on provision, but he's still year one.
I feel like everybody doesn't know what PTO is.
Paid time off.
I feel like nobody knows what that means. Anyway,
We don't get paid, though.
No.
yeah, that would be
wishful
be
thinking.
part of it.
I want to be
Taking
working
time
here.
off.
Listen, I just think that I'm really glad that we all stopped pointing fingers. We all came together, except for Brian. He's the problem.
Yeah.
What?
What? I'm
We're all
just
being
laughing.
Yeah, this isn't an annual. This is an intervention. So,
Oh, jeez. For who? For
Whoa. Trick question. It's for you, Sean.
oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
We all wrote letters.
You're using way too many memes on the podcast.
Am I?
Not
Yeah.
enough.
Not enough. I could do more. I could actually do more.
I think the podcast should just be memes. It's audio and memes. That's all it is.
Okay.
Sean, you are a great editor. You're also a greater friend. But we have brought you here.
No. I watch a lot of intervention, and that right there was like a 1-for-1.
How come on your letter it says you are also an amazing kisser? What is it? Where
Well, I
was
wasn't
this
going to
going?
get to that point.
Where
yet,
was this
but
letter going?
I'm waiting.
You're also a great lover.
You touch my tenders.
You touched my halala.
You have open doors that Mandy cannot open as well.
Open
It's gonna be
sesame.
so bad. I said
You
that.
What do you mean? What's going on?
You have glazed my short rib. More than anyone has ever.
Our love is like the McRib.
It only comes around once a month.
It comes out once in a while, but when it does, I'm kind of happy.
But I do feel very much guilt afterwards. Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do? I can't believe I put that in my body.
Right?
That's a phrase I say afterwards.
It comes out.
Yeah. Oh, what were we talking about?
I know, yeah. This bit went on for so long.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were talking about how good we did.
Yeah.
We did well.
Just like the
We could have
McRib.
done better.
Yeah,
Like the McRib.
like the McRib.
Well, we're not great all the time, but once in a while,
we make
We
it
slap.
right.
we slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the gorilla skit. Like that was the one that everyone liked a lot. That's got a lot of views.
Dude, I have no idea. Why.
3 guys, 1 gorilla.
Honestly, I do think it's the title.
I think so too.
100% think
Yeah.
it's the title. And I thought it was funny because I was talking to Monica and I was like, should I put verses? Like 3 men versus a gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monica goes, and then I went, what about if I just did 3 men, 1 gorilla?
Yeah.
And then she goes, isn't that getting a little close to 2 girls, 1 cup?
Yeah.
And I go, perfect.
I was
go
on the call
perfect.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect.
Gets it worked out.
This is how we sell this.
I just can't believe that we've done this for so long. Where I think we've done it 2 years now in a row. Where
Skits?
it's a skit every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand why the SNL writers just cry about their writing.
Well,
Right.
they also have to do 20 if for one night.
Yeah, but they scrap like half of them or more of them.
Yeah, there's some they record, but they don't air a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at us. We do one
Cut
a
for
week.
time.
I'm just saying, Lauren Michaels, you can hit us up.
We're not putting on a production.
The,
If you get tired of Please Don't Destroy.
There you
look
go.
Up, Keep
Yeah.
Up with the Nerds.
You can destroy them. You can just bring us on.
You know what? I'm really happy with the skits this year. They got more interesting. We started kind of adding a lot more props and getting a little weirder.
We got more comfortable behind the camera.
Yeah.
All of us did. Sean too.
Yeah.
Sean, you had like a nice little like.
You were
blossom.
shirtless a lot of it.
Yeah.
Skits. Yeah.
It's not okay. Hold on. This is why Sean was shirtless. We all look disgusting with our shirts off.
Yeah.
Sean doesn't. So I thought
It's not. You don't
it as a
instantly laugh
compliment,
as soon as
thank
you
you.
see him with his shirt off.
Yeah. when Sean tries to do the booby dance, it's pet dance.
Yeah.
When I do it, I need a bra. And so
My whole body's a titty.
you know what, Sean, this is your fault for being in shape. I feel like
Yeah,
if you
somehow I love how you pointed it out last time. It's like, dude, Sean lost weight. Like,
Yeah.
what? And then I saw the skit where we had to drag you across the floor.
he's bigger than
Dude, you were pretty big. Like I'm fat,
he
but
was
you're pretty big.
he was chubbier than
I carry a lot of weight in my face.
Yeah, but then you lost it all. What happened? Stress?
Depression because of my back.
Yeah.
It was my back era. My back
right.
was
Dude,
really
we should all
bad.
throw our back out. Apparently it's
and
really good for you.
having to make a lot of like drastic, also career changes too.
Yeah,
They-
but you're happier
really,
now.
Then you hit a dry
I'm
spell too.
happier. Yeah. No,
I will say
the-
regarding your
going
skits.
across the Sahara,
What?
my dry spell. It's like I walked from one end of the Sahara to the other.
What are you,
My
He's
dry
saying-
spell.
Dry
'cause
spell.
my
When he
back.
hurt his back, he couldn't
couldn't
do
perform.
anymore.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just like, where
It
did
was
this
a
conversation?
journey. Oh, I
just-
said, well,
I
my
heard
family
dry
members,
spell,
I'm
and then I heard
sorry.
it's like the Sahara. I'm like, what the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I feel like you don't understand that the Sahara is dry.
I get
It
that.
is.
No, I
So-
get that.
And it's also a long journey
I
to
know.
get across it.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I
when
get
you
it
have to-
now. It's just I jumped into the conversation halfway through, so I had to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. We'll slow the bus down again. You can jump
Hold
on.
up, stop the bus. I'm gonna go get supplies real quick.
No, you. Is that a helmet?
Still haven't seen anything.
Where are the supplies?
Where are these? I went to go get supplies.
Listen, I just asked for a
Miles
junior
just told me he went to go get milk.
milk and smokes, but I don't see smokes and I don't see milk.
I just came back at the end. And with the
even
kids.
Yeah.
No, so regarding the skits, when I did the compilation for the Santa Fe Springs Art Festival, I kept laughing at some of them, and I'm like, dude, these are better than last year's
Really?
skits. Yeah, I think they are. They're just better thought. They're better thought out.
I think the problem with previous skits is we overthought them. We were like, they
Yeah.
need to be like super like X, Y, and Z. And I feel like a lot of the times the skit does a little bit better when it's a little more off the cuff and we all come up with it.
Yeah.
The only problem with that strategy, as you have seen in some editing, is that we forget things because they're
Yeah.
not well planned out.
Yeah.
And it's 12 o'clock at night. And we're just like, how does it look? It looks great. All right, move on.
Then there's like sometimes where we're told that, oh yeah, we're gonna shoot a scene, and we don't really want to shoot that scene, and we
Again?
just come again. Or sometimes if Nick doesn't want to shoot a certain scene, he'll think of another way to shoot that said scene, but in a different way.
Yeah.
You
too many
stop.
rewrites.
No, you know what?
Rewrites.
Sean, you've changed Nick because he used
Have
to
I?
do that a lot more. But ever since you yelled,
What did I do?
ever since you yelled at him for
When
not,
did I yell?
you yelled at him when he didn't film you with your
Oh
your
yeah,
pants
for
down.
the toilet.
Look, I didn't yell at him.
But you,
did-
but you did express your
I did.
feelings.
You
I
did
did.
express, and I think what made me laugh about it was that was the first time that you got told like this was a mess up. Like
Yeah.
I was not gonna be with my pants down. Do this again,
Yeah.
and you're just like, all right, I gotta do it again.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
do it again.
and ever since that moment, like you haven't like
I think you also forgot to press record. Or that was the time after. I forgot.
There was a time that someone forgot to press
Push
record.
record.
I think
Yeah.
that's me. I've
that,
done that a
sounds,
couple
that
times.
sounds
Oh,
more
yeah.
like a Bryan thing.
Oh, yeah, that was you
That
because
was
that was caught.
you-
You caught the aftermath of our reaction to
Yeah.
that. It was when we
Yeah.
had to do the apron thing. Yeah,
We had to do the apron thing, and then you were like,
we
oh,
did
yeah.
a good bit. Yeah,
Yeah, we did a really funny bit,
Yeah.
and the camera's on us, and I'm like, oh, thank God we got this on camera. And then you were like, I didn't push record. And we were like, funny things are happening. No, but, and I feel, I mean, the podcast is fun, and I love it. I do think that the skits are a lot more, they're challenging.
yeah. We're pushing ourselves.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
there's not that many skit channels on YouTube.
No, I guess
Is there not?
No.
There's two guys. I'm gonna look up their name right
There-
now.
Because
I
I
mean,
was listening to
skits. Well,
I
that's the thing.
recommend
You
them.
find skits now on social media, TikTok,
on TikTok,
and
Yeah.
Instagram.
like
Yeah.
that guy that you showed me. Forget his name.
The one that has, like, the body. Like, he always, like, throws.
Yeah.
He's, like, in a
Oh, yeah.
trailer.
J J something.
Yeah, I loved his Final Destination one. That thing was
Oh,
hilarious.
that was great.
Where
I actually did almost come up with a Final Destination skit, but I think it was Sean that was doing that skit that week. I think.
I think the funnier one is, you know what I thought? I also thought we never did a Sinners one.
No, we never.
Like
did.
how
How would
popular
we?
Sinners?
How would we have done that too, though?
Yeah, that's and I get
Yeah.
that too of like we don't really have the ability to do that.
I personally feel that all skits don't have to revolve or pertain anything to the main topic. Because
They
then that's
don't.
just us really putting us
They-
into a box.
They used to when we attached them to our podcast
Mhm.
when
That
we
w- that's
first
when-
did it. When we first did it, because the whole like
Algorithm.
putting a skit on the podcast was my idea for the She-Hulk one.
Mhm.
Oh no, it wasn't the She-Hulk one. It was when I came back because I had COVID, and then it was like the funeral thing. That was our first ever skit.
Yeah, we had pitched skits before.
Yeah, but we never really did them. And I was like, let's just do it this time because we always do like an opening thing,
Yeah.
and we were doing opening like interviews. That was your idea. That one lasted maybe like a couple of months we did
We
that
did it for
one.
like 2-3 months.
Yeah,
Did
which
we?
was
The interviews.
yeah, we did like the opening interviews of like he would ask us a question and stuff and like how do you feel blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't enjoy this.
you did.
A really
Crazy.
great.
It was
skit.
an idea. It was an idea, but that's the thing. The skit, and then it was just funny how we did this. We first did our first ever skit, and it got a lot of clicks. And we're like,
All right, I guess we got to do these.
because it was like a double-edged sword.
Well,
No
because
going back.
because
Yeah, it was like a double-edged sword. I pitched this new idea, and I was like, "Cool, yeah, it worked.
well no
It worked."
because
Okay, now we got to keep
Go
doing
back
it.
to the
yeah.
mayor. Why the hell did you open your mouth?
well no because I remember when I first jumped on, I had already pitched skits.
Yeah.
where I was like, we should do skits,
Yeah, but you
And-
came in hot, and I was just like,
and then Brian was like, no.
yeah,
I don't
because it
wanna
was
do
just
it.
like,
Well, that was okay. That was the time where it as well too. Like anyone that pitched anything to you, you were immediately like, "Hold
No.
on,
Yeah.
hold on." You weren't dismissive. You were
No.
very much like, "Well, let's
It's-
plan it out."
Yeah,
it's
it's-
interesting because like at the time, because we've been doing this for 5 years at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's
Skits start what
3 years ago.
3 years.
yeah, 3
Yeah,
years
so we've been
ago.
doing skits for 3. We've been doing the show for 5. But I think the hardest part, one, I will say this to start positively, we've beaten most podcasts that start out because most people say that podcasts last 3 months before they die out. We've done 5 years at the rate that we're doing it, which is great.
Yeah.
People have, even if we're not popping,
Yeah.
the people that have seen our stuff have said that it's really high quality. We
Yeah.
do really good work with the limited materials that we have.
Yeah.
The bad thing about all this is that we're in the internet, which is such a
Oversaturated
it's
market.
exactly. So it's very difficult to get.
You know what I do like though? I do like that even if we're not becoming popular worldwide, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I like.
I'm having fun doing this.
I'm having fun doing. I'm glad you are as the new person. I'm glad you
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
yourself here. But I
Last
am.
ones didn't.
Jesus.
You know, and I do want to make a formal apology to you guys. You know, I am sorry because I didn't join the show sooner.
Oh, sooner.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that to you guys. I'm so sorry.
Listen, all I know is that we've
I'm
partnered.
sorry, it's
We
just-
we partnered before.
I'm
and it
just
didn't work.
joshing.
But I feel like when we bringing Sean on in general,
Yeah.
it was more. It was a lot more fluid.
Made sense.
It made a lot more sense. Not only that, but also it.
Didn't question everything.
No, there wasn't a whole lot of pushback, especially when we were making a lot of sense.
No, but that's the thing is that when we brought, it's kind of like, I don't know, if we kind of put ourselves as SNL, we brought the new cast member in. He didn't overstep in
Yeah.
the first like couple of months.
Now
And
he
then he's-
oversteps. That
No.
bastard.
What are you talking
Just-
about?
No, I mean,
You're gonna- you're gonna make him mad.
The reason why Sean
me.
works so well is that he took initiative in a lot of the
He
stuff.
did, and
Yeah.
I
He
think
did.
that that's
Yeah.
so. One of the things that I do want to talk about, looking back at everything that we've done, is that the goal that I set myself for year 4 was that I wanted to get more people involved in not just like being in the skits, but writing, directing, doing the camera work. And I would say that even though there's still work to be done to improve, like always, you guys have taken that kind of like thought and gone with it. You guys have been able to direct and write the skits and, produce something. And it's not just me all the time doing it. You guys can put your own signatures on there. The thing that you guys have done over the past 3 months, and I told you this when you started picking up editing, was that every person who edits needs to have a signature. And you guys did that in a very short time. When you picked up the editing, you were generic at first, and then you started
You
developing.
were basic.
No, you were basic. You were, but then you started to kind of put things together and putting more thought into the cuts and the edits, and you got your signature. Sean started doing it, then he got his signature, which is great.
Adding gifts to every 5
Every meme.
minutes.
But it's
Every-
great.
You know,
It's great. It worked.
I do it for you guys too because I'll be honest.
His
When
ADHD.
I'm editing content, I'm listening to it. I'm like, how can I make this more engaging for you
Yes.
guys too? How can I make it? How can I enrich this moment that's going on just for that little extra laughter out of you guys sometimes, or even that chuckle? And if I get the chuckle or the smirk,
Yeah.
then I know I did my job.
I do, and
And it's
I
more
will,
visually like
I will
stimulating.
admit I do have more fun doing the skits than doing the podcast because I feel like the podcast it's a lot of staring and it's a lot of just
Well, because you have to sit there
But
for
the
like 2
podcast-
hours.
and you have to and it's something that you've
Oh,
already
you're talking about
experienced.
editing. I'm just like, what
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
think?
no,
Like,
no,
I
no,
don't like
no, no, no,
podcasts.
I'm talking about editing
Yeah.
in general, like because there is no creativity to the podcast. it's, you know, you can add creativity to it to make a joke hit a little bit harder. But if you're just going to do a generic edit, then it's very much just
and listening to it
and just listening to it,
Yeah.
and you're just watching through.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But that was the reason why I started adding like images to it, and then you built off of that of going like, oh well, Nick adds images, so I'm going to start adding images, and then we started adding GIFs, and then you know.
Actually, I think I started adding the GIFs and the images.
You started adding GIFs. I had the images. You started adding GIFs, and then I started going like, oh
then
yeah.
I added green screen the following week.
Yeah, you did.
Which was hard.
Oh,
did you guys see? By the way, I did not track the image right.
No, I know.
Still,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that crude little.
No,
I love how Nick called you out. I was like, you just did it because you wanted to test yourself. Like, yeah, because I hate myself doing it, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
No,
yeah. I always challenge myself whenever I make it. It makes it more entertaining for me to do it.
Yeah,
and it's something for me to work towards.
And I do understand what you mean too. Like last week's skit. I didn't look at the footage.
Because Sean was directing. So
Sean
was looking at the camera.
But Sean wanted
I was looking at. I look and I press.
But Sean wanted me to edit because he wanted to do the podcast, which I was like, okay, cool. I'm noticing that, and I understand what you mean now. When I'm watching the camera and I know the footage that happened, it's a lot easier for me to get the edit and go like, okay, I know exactly how to edit that, or I know how to chop that.
When you direct and edit, it's easier than you just editing or someone else directing.
Yeah, because then I'm kind of going, because at that point too, because there was a couple of things where I was like, I don't remember what the joke was here. And
he did it to himself. He did all of that to himself.
Well, that's the tricky thing is because, hang on, I've done this before with you where one of you two directed and then I was the one that edited.
Yeah.
So the thing about it, and I think I might have told you this in conversation, is that when you take on an editing project with someone else directing it, you have to be a secondary director, especially with the small production that we have.
Yeah.
Because as you're editing it, the director's responsibility is to walk you through what the scene is going to be like.
Yes.
And you as an editor also have to understand that if it doesn't work out the way that the director wants it, you can come up with a better solution to then show them afterwards. And there have been scenes with that where you directed it and then I've had to edit it. And I'm like, this doesn't work the way it does. So I've had to cut it or, you know, add a different scene somewhere, or even put in a reaction of Rene doing something and putting it in the middle.
Audio.
Yeah, it changes it a little bit, but it happens. So yeah.
It wasn't anything bad. It was just that moment of me going, because when I was directing and then editing, it's a lot more of like, I already saw all the footage. So in my head, I've already seen everything and I know exactly what we captured. So I can kind of put it all together. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, where I was able to put the whole thing in my head.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot easier when I'm just throwing it on the timeline where I can just go, okay, I know exactly what scenes I want. I know I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Mm-hmm. It's in.
Yeah.
Now, and then when I don't look at the footage, I'm like, I have to watch everything and kind of, I have to like rewatch the whole video and go like,
what works and what
works
doesn't.
here. I don't know what works. And then like go like, okay, I like this. I kind of like that. Let me do this. Let me cut audio from here and put it here because it makes the joke funnier.
Yeah. No, I get you. But I mean, we've done this. It's kind of unfair to really fully talk about it because we just started sharing work maybe about 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago. Mm-hmm. So halfway through the second half of this year.
No, because I was already editing the podcast.
But fully sharing the work?
Oh, like all
three of us like rotating the podcast and the skits and stuff like that. Yeah. Like that didn't start until like maybe 3 months ago. And so with the fact that we're going to start rotating even more in year 5, you're going to start developing a better sense of how to do certain things. Like this was a good test run into year 5. It'll be a lot smoother. I would think.
Because I do want to make a template for, because I really liked the reaction. I thought the reactions were funny. I liked the reaction video that we did.
Oh, yeah.
Who pitched that idea?
I did.
We were talking about it in like the middle of the podcast, like literally it's
and then I think halfway through the podcast I just pitched it and go, okay, we're just gonna do a reaction.
It's not a bad thing because people click on it anyways, so it's a good pitch.
Well, you know what? And I've been noticing, especially because me and Rene were talking about it, and I was like, I've been noticing I'm watching a lot more reaction videos. Like sometimes I'll just watch it because I want to see this person's reaction or this person's whatever it may be.
Yeah, what their thoughts were.
Yeah, like
on
what
the
their
scene.
thoughts were, or like sometimes they're funny, or sometimes they're like over the top, and you're like, oh man, that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Queso.
I've watched this week alone. I've watched about 6 different channels of people watching Fight Club.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
I saw Fight Club this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Dude, I think I saw it on no,
sync.
we saw it on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when I started watching it. Yeah.
You guys are in each other way too much.
But I've done it
Are we
for
the same person?
Are we?
because I've done it for Star Wars stuff, like watching Rebels and like
Oh yeah,
people,
TV
like,
shows. Oh,
TV
yeah.
shows or watching like Ahsoka, like especially like
or like channels
Shadow
like
Warrior,
Dead Meat too. They do
Dead
the same
Meat,
thing.
the Normies, stuff like that. Sometimes I'm listening to them and I'm like, these guys are morons.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of people that are like watching like anime, they're
Yeah.
just like, I wonder what.
There's this guy that shows his like Jersey dad all these new stuff, and he showed him like the trailer of the new Superman movie, and he's like, nah, yeah, see, like I don't like this Superman, you know, I my favorite one was that Quevedo, he was Superman, you know. So,
Oh, but it's basic people just
Yeah.
doing basic reactions.
But you know, that was the first one. I wouldn't mind coming up with like an actual, because for you guys don't know, when we all edit, there is a basic timeline.
Yeah.
There's a setup for the timeline. You just drop stuff. I would love to make one so that way you
for
know
reactions.
for reactions and everything like that to
Yeah.
like pull it in, and then that way we have it.
That means if a trailer drops, a significant trailer drops, we have to wait and record our legitimate reactions.
Here's what I will say. Here is what I will say. Let's talk about the future of year 5 for a second, okay?
Yeah,
We
it's
can
coming.
kind of it's coming.
We're good.
It's there.
Yeah.
But we got a little bit of time left. You got to go somewhere, so we're gonna.
good.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we get to this in regards to what we're gonna do for year 5. Are we okay discussing what we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine
Okay.
with that.
So one of the things that we were talking about, we kind of teased it in issue
No,
249.
not that. No, not that.
Oh, not the, no. Okay, no cake on cake then. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
cake on cake, yeah.
That's a secret.
Next year.
That's a surprise.
That's year
side.
6. No. So
We're making
That's
a foot
year-
finder.
That's year 7 because we're desperate.
because
We need funding, guys.
So one of the things we teased about is that there's going to be better ways and more. There's going to be ways to support us, and one of the things that we would like to have, you know, with us is
Your
some
wallet.
financial support. It's going to put it nicer, but like a little bit of financial support. So we are going to be launching a Patreon with year 5. Finally, we talked about it in year 3. Didn't happen in year 4. Didn't, you know? We
Didn't
talked
feel
about
right. We feel like 5 years. It's,
Yeah,
it's
5 years.
comfortable to ask.
I
It was
think-
a-
I think
it's
it's
a-
okay.
It's a solid number.
Yeah.
Five.
So here's the thing: we're not gonna ask for much because we get it. Like you know, especially in this
I
economy.
barely know you. You know me. I mean, we just started. You know?
We just started seeing each
Yeah.
other. You know, I'm not gonna ask you to pay the whole bill.
I wouldn't ask you of that. I wouldn't.
But if you could throw a couple
Yeah.
dollars our way.
Yeah.
So with the Patreon, one of the things that we're working on so
Pitching
far,
for the tip.
we're pitching a couple ideas in terms of like what we're gonna do for the tiers. So right now, what we have on the Patreon, and if it'll maybe be up. I want it for it to be up by issue 250. But the idea that we have is having 3 tiers for the time being. A tier that is just a simple donation if you guys want to support us financially. A tier where you guys can see the audio, where you guys can listen to the audio podcast uncensored day after recording. And then an extra tier that's a little bit higher up where you guys get to see the post show. We're actually going to be working on that. Because one of the things that we kind of saw was that we take too long with our podcast. 2 hours. I mean, I get it.
We love the tangent. We love to
We
just
love the
kind of like
tangent.
riff off each other.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. We've gotten requests from people of like, it should be longer than 2 hours. Okay, it doesn't work algorithmically. It doesn't. Unless
2 hours already hurts.
Yeah.
It already hurts the algorithm.
It hurts. It does.
If we were to do this out like based off of the algorithm, this would be a 20 episode. Like this would be 20 like parts.
Yes.
Oh God.
Because they would be like maybe like 3 minutes long,
Chunks.
which
Yeah.
the chunks of the episode, which would fit into the algorithm nicely.
Yeah.
And then you would just have parts to it, and it would keep going, and then the algorithm would pick it up and go like, "Oh yeah, it's good." And it also has interaction because it's sticking over to the thing. Which also, guys, we should do
But that's the thing is that it hurts the algorithm if it's longer than an hour 30. So we
Yes.
plan on wanting to go back to the hour and 30 format. That does mean that we are going to restructure the show. One of the things that we talked about was getting to the main topic sooner. So we're probably going to be putting that earlier in the show and then doing comic strips last. That's still kind of being discussed, but primarily that's kind of how we want to focus
We want
the
to
show.
see how the time is when we switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
let
we've
us
heard
know
your
what you
guys'
like
feedback. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're making this show for you. Let us know what you guys are liking more. If you want the main topic in the
Yeah.
beginning, comic strips at the end. You know,
Yeah,
And-
because
Talk to us.
one,
Let
it's
us
not
know.
it's not necessarily a complaint, but I do hear when people do listen to our reviews on certain movies, they do wish we did touch on to it just a little bit longer.
we are
Longer and
alleviating
earlier.
a lot of that like stress now or that fatigue with the timestamps.
Mhm.
So guys, don't also forget we have timestamps. If there's any specific topic that you see down there, you can just click it and then boom,
Done.
You're
That's
right.
all it is.
you're right in the dirt of it.
Yeah. But the Patreon will have a post show. Right, what do we think of calling it post credits?
Post credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Postmortem.
Post. It's still
Rigor
up
mortis.
for discussion still,
Mm.
but that show will probably be like a post show
Yeah.
where we talk more in detail about you just snapped your fingers as if you had an idea.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about it or save it?
No.
After. Okay. But, it'll be a post show where we
Yeah.
discuss more, tangent more.
We tangent more. We talk a little more personal. More
It'll
as
kind of
well.
look like this.
Yeah. And it'll be uncensored. So, no cut. Yeah. So we can be a little more free. But yeah, that's going to be one of them. Second, Nick did us the favor. Was it you that submitted the stuff?
For
Sponsorships?
yes,
Sponsorships.
I was bored at home.
Yeah. So Nick got us some sponsors
Well,
finally.
Dude,
it worked in our benefit.
Dude, I was in bed, and I didn't want to get out, and then I just started just looking up sponsorships, and then I just saw apply now. And
I do
went,
something completely different when I'm bored in bed.
Jerk off.
None of my. Do we need to
I
say
was
the
gonna-
quiet part out loud?
I was gonna ask.
My
when he
family
said-
watches this,
You're gonna say-
Brian.
You're gonna say
My-
when you said I was laid in bed, I was like
God.
post night.
no, dude. Monica was asleep.
And you could
She
have
was
just said. You
asleep.
couldn't have not said it. What do you want me to say? You said it was like a
Not
something
it.
different.
Nah, dude. Monica was asleep. She didn't even know what I was doing, and I was just on my phone, and I was applying. In some of those applications were really fast.
Are you gonna get a call
yeah?
from one of your
Yeah.
from your moms like Sean?
No. What did I tell you? Idle hands are the devil's plaything.
That's a good movie though.
But that's why it's
Yes.
not. Well, that's why it's not idle. It's going back and forth. It's not idle.
Not idle.
Idle implies that it's just staying still.
What is it? Masturbation is the greatest thief of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So
It's also good if
time
you're
well
sick.
spent though.
You know, it's also
It's
really good.
enjoyable.
You know, it's also good if you're sick.
What?
Because it reactivates your immune system.
oh, that's true.
Oh, you know what?
It does
Okay.
feel like
That
a
is true.
restart.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does trigger your immune system. So if you have a cold or something like that,
Or you're hungover.
or if you're hungover,
Just whack one out.
Yeah.
Fun
I mean,
facts from the nerds.
hopefully you
Eat
can
some
do
really
it.
spicy food.
Or you
Smoke
could
a
always if you have a partner, they can
Stop.
just-
Okay. You know
you guys
what?
can
Let's
have
go
fun.
back to
Or you do the
sponsorships.
Dutch rudder.
Let's talk about the
A
sponsorships.
Dutch rudder.
Dutch
You and a
rudder.
buddy both have a cold.
Yeah.
You can get more of this on the Patreon
Yeah.
later on. Later on.
Coming
You'll get
soon.
more of
We
this
won't
kind of
discuss
content.
sponsorships here because we are planning some stuff.
Yeah,
I will
say-
say this.
Say this
So
now.
the sponsorships, everything and all the information on that will be in the description below if you guys want to check out the companies that are sponsoring us. It is going to be actually I won't talk about how we're going to get the money, but if you guys want
That's really not their concern.
not their concern.
They really don't care, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't,
They're
but
like, dude,
they can check out all the
broke.
different all the companies that are going to be sponsors in the description down below.
It gets put
But
into
we
this
are going to be
escrow account.
advertising. But I will say this:
That's located in Switzerland.
when we have those
We're gonna
sponsorships,
Wolf of Wall Street this.
I'm just going to say this right now. We understand that ads are not the best thing out there, but we also want to do our part and see if we can get some money out of it. So we'll try to
have
be, yeah, we
We're
have
not
to.
selling out. We're not selling
We
out.
gotta
We're
say- we
just
gotta pay
we-
reformatting.
Yes.
For
we have to pay the bills.
We need more. Yeah,
We're
to
in the
make money.
negative for
Yeah.
5
we
years.
want to make better content.
I've-
more over the top things like Art Fest with the game show that Nick pulled off. If we can,
Yeah,
us
that was-
doing all of this is is gonna help us get
I
that
went in the
money for a
negative
bigger
for that.
production. We want to make it bigger, better, more nerdier for you guys this year in year 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we need money for that.
With the understanding, if you do not want to check the links, then
That's
you
fine.
have
It's too
every
early.
liberty to do so. That's fine.
early on.
worry.
We're not
I get it.
sellouts.
We're not.
yet.
No.
We're not judging you.
No.
Just-
It's just there for the
I mean,
people that
you've
want
been here
to.
for a while now. I
Now
just thought,
we're not gonna we're not gonna get sponsors from companies that we don't trust. We're actually looking
absolutely
into
not.
them.
We
No.
look into every company.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
You did?
we-
Okay.
Well, you know, it wasn't on comic strips, so might as well bring it up now. So,
I just applied.
I said, give me money.
I was like, "Will you give me money?"
It's
And they
your
went,
chance.
"Yes,
That's
please."
it.
give me your soul, and
Now-
I'll give you money.
One of the things that
We had to
was
send
actually
a link to 2 other people. Perfectly fine.
It's more of a pyramid kind of thing.
I heard it was
no,
a triangle.
Trickle down economics.
Yeah.
Okay, it's trickle down economics, starting from the top, and it trickles down
Yeah.
like this.
All right. So the last thing that I want to discuss is, and this is theoretical still in the process, but you have shown interest, is possibly doing some streaming
No.
to
Sounds
kind
insane.
of like bring in a new
Avenue.
avenue, right?
Yeah.
So
OF.
we'll talk about it more, but that might be a thing. Maybe, hopefully, coming
excited
into
too.
early year 5 of what?
Oh no, the streaming.
You want to stream?
No, I'm just.
We're excited for.
Yeah, we're
our
excited for what to do with it.
Yeah. We're gonna stream.
Stream games.
Don't worry about what I'm gonna do with it. Okay.
Oh, I was telling
You
him
open
last
this
time-
door.
Are you aware that there's people on Cornhub that use it as a platform to like just legitimately verbatim
Stream.
stream
Just
like it is on
stream, yeah.
Twitch?
Yeah.
They're playing COD,
games.
and it's some dudes or some people just playing video games,
Yeah, it's very disappointing.
and that's it. And I'm like,
The girl never came.
why are you?
The girl never came.
I
And
didn't
he
know
just
the
kept
halfway
playing
in.
video.
I didn't know the halfway in.
I don't really skip this part of the video, but like he had me. Yeah, it's weird.
I started scrolling to see when she showed up. She never did.
Maybe we can also
did.
post some of
I
our
was
content
20 minutes
there.
in an hour
See if that
stream.
works.
We could see. Would you
She
guys
never
be
did.
opposed
No, we're
to
not gonna be putting our content
posting
there.
our
I-
podcast on Cornhub?
I just want to see
The comments?
No, not that, but the rendition. If we get any rendition.
Listen,
from
I
it.
just want to put it up one time and then just go. I like the big one. Just
immediately take it down after that. No.
Give me cake on cake
Now,
and give me
I'll
your
take
routing
cake
number.
on cake.
now if we do
I like it if the
streaming-
one with the glasses sat on things.
Now if we do streaming,
I can find him a seat.
we all wear glasses.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
joke. I wasn't directing it towards you. Not everything's about you, Brian.
Now
We
if
can all
do-
sit on cake.
Oh my god! If we do streaming, would it be better to do it on Twitch or YouTube?
I think for right now, YouTube.
YouTube
'Cause it-
is a
'cause-
safe format.
Yeah.
Right now.
The idea is that you're building the community that you're. This is a conversation for later.
Yeah.
But you're building the community that we've already
Kick.
established. Whereas Twitch, you're building a brand new one.
Whatever format streams the less Minecraft.
Sorry, that's Twitch.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
Anyway, but that's
That's a different conversation.
a different conversation. But yeah, I've been saying to Brian, because Brian has never played Baldur's Gate. I really want to play Baldur's Gate with you.
I don't have the time.
So what?
It's always something with you.
I know.
Oh, I had a fever of 103. I was almost
I
gonna
ever told you
die.
that?
I couldn't play.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I got in a car accident, guys, and now I'm blind in my left eye temporarily, and I can't play this game. Oh no! Oh guys, I have a baby now. I can't play.
Joey peed on
It's always
everything.
something.
No,
Joey
I can't
peed
play
on
it.
this. Joey peed on that.
Taste
peed
True
on my
Feelings come
computer.
out.
Dang.
I know.
Mhm.
It's True Feelings come
So
out.
it's right before
Anyone
your
else want to add
He's
any
peeing right
last
now.
minute things before
Confessions?
we wrap up?
Yeah, can I get that real quick? No, the O'Connor thing.
Oh, this one?
Brian.
This intervention was actually for you.
Yeah. Switch invention.
Right.
We miss when you were just an embodied head on Boba. We would like it if you went back to that.
Things were simple when
He doesn't speak for all of us.
You were quiet and agreeable.
Yeah. You did all the work.
I missed that.
I was at my happiest.
I didn't think about killing
Carefree.
myself. All right, so this wraps up annual number 2. Again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us this year for year 4. We promise to do a lot more for year 5, and hopefully grow as we keep building this up. It's great.
I want to know whether or not you guys want like episodes of just like viewer topics.
That's
viewer
right. We did
this.
bring that up.
Oh.
You guys.
You guys
Right-
choose
right,
our
the-
topics.
But you guys
Submit
need
the
to
topic to
interact.
us. Yes.
Not be like, well, you guys don't open it. No one messages us on Instagram.
Do you want
But
us
they
to do a
talk to
poll
us.
in Instagram? You can submit articles
Yeah.
and then, but it has to be before the end of the
Yes,
week
we
before
give
we
you
by
time.
record.
Wednesday.
You don't-
It would
yeah.
have to be by Wednesday.
If you don't do it, you don't get in.
Is that way you can compile everything and
Yeah.
make a thing?
We understand stuff happens on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, so we'll still try and keep an eye on that. But if you guys
Yeah.
want to write content for us to make for you,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like a viewer segment
Yeah.
and like making
So
some
you guys
time
have to
for it.
participate.
I'll wear nipple tassels.
Oh my god!
And with that, we'll wrap up annual number 2. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah, we're gonna show off.
You got to keep doing that until we wrap it up.
Well, you have to open up yours too. Come on.
What's mine?
We all have nipple tassels on.
I'm
What
good.
is yours?
Come
I'm
on.
good. No, you
Don't
guys
make
are
me
already
do this
forcing me to
alone.
sit on cake. Keep going.
First off, oh, Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god,
I'm Teddy's little whore.
Jesus. My god.
This has been actually. You know what? Check out our website, keepitupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials: Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Check out our YouTube channel,
still going.
youtube.com/.
Be happy.
And check out our
You're
other
happy.
platforms, Spotify,
You wanna be a
Podcast,
star,
and
don't you?
Podbean. Now on YouTube Music.
See a lot of star in you, kid.
Have you noticed that he's not even gyrating anymore? He's like struggling.
He's just doing circles.
He's
You got potential.
I told you not to stop. Thank you. This has
I
been
got-
Keeping Up with the Nerds.
My friend
annual.
Joel wants to meet you.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds annual number 2. My name is Bryan.
Nick.
Renee.
Sean.
Signing up from Undercity Comics. We'll see you in year 5.